This one comes from Nicole in Salt Lake City, Utah. Hi, I'm planning a first and maybe last ever, time trip and have two options for June for 6 or 7 days or mid-October for 4 or 5 days. I'd much rather go in October. I hate heat and crowds. However, we'd see more in June. Please advise. Well, Nicole, congratulations. You're going to Disney World. That's going to be so cool. First time trip. Just sounds like a great, great idea. So let's talk about June versus October. Which is better, June or October? Well, let's start with June. Let's start with crowds. Let's just start with crowds. So crowds in June. It kind of depends on the time of month you're going in June. Early to mid-June, light crowds. Light to moderate crowds. It starts getting a little busier towards the end of month. October crowds. October crowds, surprisingly enough, are heavy. If you've been watching anything about Walt Disney World the last couple of days, the last week or two, the crowds are really, really big. In fact, we had a live stream on WDW Magazine. It was Wednesday. We had a live stream from the Magic Kingdom, and the line for Space Mountain. The line for Space Mountain was 150 minutes long, almost 3 hours long, 2.5 hours long for Space Mountain. And it was very busy. There were people everywhere. It was just a very busy day. That's been true of October for several years. It used to be October was a nice slow time, but probably about 5 years ago that changed and the crowd levels went boom. And now October is busier. So you talk about it being busier slower in October. Well, that's not the case. October is busier than June. If you look at our crowd calendar pages, Stephanie, I put the links down below, the June crowds and the October crowds, you'll see that June is not as busy as October. In fact, the crowds in the summertime have been going down the last few years. And that has helped. That has even made that October crowds worse. October is one of the busiest months of the year at Walt Disney World. Okay, so let's look at weather. Let's look at the difference between June, which end was June? I don't remember. June and October in weather. So June, here I got it written out right here. The June highs, the average high in June is 91 degrees. The average low is 72. So you look at October. The average high in October is 85 degrees. And the average low is 66. So it's a little cooler in October. It's not drastically cooler in October. I can tell you, I've been there a couple times in October, and it was hot. I'm talking 95 degrees. You can get that just about any time. I was there in December last year, and it was 90 degrees on December 13th, I think, was the date we were actually having our party. It was like mid 80s at 9:30 when we were in Epcot. It was hot. So any time of year you can have that temperature wise. You can get a cool front in June where it can be really, really nice. Yeah, I know this year, was it June? I believe it was in June. They had a lot of rain in June. So it wasn't nearly as bad in June. That's, June, October, it's a little cooler in October, but not that, you're not having a 20-degree temperature difference. It doesn't go from 95 to 75. So it's not going to be all that different. You're talking 91 to 86, 85, 6 degrees, not all that different. So you're not going to gain a lot by going in October versus June, weather-wise. Now let's talk about events. In June, you had Star Wars weekends. Depending on when you go, you might still be in the Flower and Garden Festival. It ends sometime around there. We don't know exactly what we might know the dates, but I don't remember them right offhand for 2018 for the Flower and Garden Festival. We do have the dates for 2018. I know I'm going in 2018, but I'm not sure when it ends. I think it's around mid-June. I forgot to look that up. I should have looked that up, bad dad. But you don't really have a lot of events in June. Whereas in October, you have the Flower and Garden Festival. You have Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Let's see. Yeah, that was all I had. So October's got a little better events with the Halloween party. So events, October wins. But the bottom line, Dad's bottom line is I would go in June. 6 or 7 days in June versus 4 or 5 days in October. No brainer. Go in June. It's a little warmer, not much, but crowds will be lower. And I think you'll just have a better time in June. All right. So that's it. June versus October.
Thanks so much for watching Dad's video. For more simple, fun, magic Walt Disney World information, go to Dad's Guide to WDW.com. You can do that by clicking the I button that's popping up on the screen right now. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and get more Dad's YouTube videos with Daditude.